All right, shalom, shalom. Back here again with another lesson. But first, we're going to turn the face to east. I want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. All praise and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who brought out this truth many, many years ago and still to this day preaching this truth. I want to say shalom to all the true believers, the men and the women that's learning, teaching, and seeking the Lord out with all sincerity and due diligence. I want to say to you all shalom. Just back another lesson real quick, and we're going to get straight into it, man. And today is about, again, it's all about Yahawashi, and it's just another video that I was gonna add to the other that I did, and it's about how Yahawashi, that chief cornerstone, man. He is that most important piece. You know, you can build on no other foundation but Yahawashi. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing moves unless it goes through him. You know, and it's always been him, right? So first precept I want to start off with is Psalms. I'm gonna read King James version off my phone, then the NIV off the Bible. Psalms 118:22, and it says, "The stone which the builders refuse is become the headstone of the corner." And who is that stone the builders which the builders refuse is Yahawashi. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you know, these guys want to build on Jesus Christ, want to build on Allah. You know, they want to build on all these different guys, but yeah, it's always been Yahawashi. You know, and it's like, you know, remember you go to the lake, man, if you ever been to a lake and you're trying to find that perfect rock, you know what I'm saying, that skip across that lake, because there's certain rocks that you use that go further and further along and skip better than all the other ones. And that's what we was doing before we came into this truth, man. You know, we all along, you know, we thought it was Jesus Christ and Allah and Christianity, but like I said, all along it's been Yahawashi. You know, he's that chief cornerstone. He's that most important piece, man, right? And like I said, the elect been searching for this stone our whole life since we came into this truth, man. You know, we thought, like I said, we thought it was Jesus Christ. We thought it was Allah. We thought it was all these different guys. But yet this whole time it's been Yahawashi. You know what I'm saying? So right here we're going to go to Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10. And it says, "The name of the About Yahawah is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe." And that's Yahawashi, man. He is that strong tower. He is that rock. You know, nothing moves through him. You know, you got to be careful how you build, man, because if you build any foundation, you know, anything outside of Yahawashi, man, is gonna fail, it's gonna crumble. You know, Yahawashi is that protection. That's how we have our protection, through Yahawashi, man. Returning to Yahawashi, believing in Yahawashi, having faith in Yahawashi, trusting in Yahawashi, right? Building our foundation on Yahawashi, being more like him every day, right? Not, you know, Jesus Christ and Allah and all these different things, man. It's all about Yahawashi. He is that chief cornerstone. He is that most important piece. It's always been him, man. All this, like I said, all this time we thought it was Jesus Christ. But you come into the truth, like I said, you find out it's always been Yahawashi from the beginning, right? Let's continue on that. We're going to go to Isaiah chapter 52, verse 2, and it says, "Shake thyself from the dust, arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from thy bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion." See, and removing those chains, that's us coming into this truth, man. You know, that's us being freed away from that mental bondage, you know, that Esau got us in this hellhole right here. Because everything, he attacks you mentally. Everything is meant to slow you down, man. Everything is meant to distract you. You know, the food that you put in your body messes with your brain system. You know, the jab they put in your body messes with your brain and immune and nervous system, man. It's all set up to destroy you. It's all set up to keep you distracted and keep you close away to your power. So again, it says, "Shake thyself from the dust, arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from thy bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion." And like I said, us coming out of those chains, loosening the bands off that neck, and you know, that's us removing those chains, us coming to this truth, man. You know, and this truth will make you free. We detoxing off that wine. We turn to Yahawashi. You know, we know the real from the fake. We separate, you know, the bullshit from the not, right? And now that we working in this truth, we have an understanding, we able-bodied, you know what I'm saying? That's how the Lord speaks. He speaks through us as a messenger, man, right? So we're gonna go to Isaiah chapter 49:2, and it says, "He have made my mouth like a sharp sword, and the shadow of his hand that have hid me. He have made me polished shaft, and his quiver have hid me." And see, that's what the Lord is doing, man. He's using his prophets as a spiritual sword, man, because these words cut, right? And what they say, what's that saying? The truth hurts, man. You know, we come out here prophesying against these nations, these different kingdoms, telling them their judgment, standing boldly in the name of the Lord, man. And we cutting these people up. You know, we a burden to these people, man. You know what I'm saying? We come out here teaching against their agenda, breaking the Bible down the ways it's supposed to be broken down, precept by precept, you know, breaking it down the way it's supposed to be. You know, not like these pulpit pastors on this Christianity stuff, man. That's the wrong way, right? So the Lord uses us, his prophets, Lord, when I'm part of that number, to, you know, bring out his word and preach against the nations and the people, man. Right? But like I said, this word, you know, we're preaching downfall of this place. It becomes a burden to these people, man. And let's prove that. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 12 through 5. I gotta pull that up too. All right, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. We're gonna start at verse 20. It says, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. He is a clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offering the law, and objective to our infamy, the transgressors of our education, man. So we preaching against this place, man. We're slowly breaking Esau down. We're a headache to Esau. We're a headache to the wicked, because we go against everything they stand for. When they go against YAHAWASHI, we go against them, and we stand boldly for the Lord, man. So they want to try to oppress us and try everything they can to put us down, keep us mentally enslaved, you know, through all the bullshit that they put in front of you, all these different distractions, all these different chemicals they put in our foods and the jabs, and the water supply, the air supply, anything they can to get close to us, man, to destroy our mindset, to destroy our spirit, to keep us further away from our power. Verse 13, he professes to have the knowledge of Yahweh, and calling himself a child of the Lord, the elect. Verse 14, he was made to reprove our thoughts, right? So let's look at that word reprove. God, I can't even click on it. Reprove definition. Rebuke, scold, chastise, upbraid, berate, pull up, criticize, tell off, dress down. We see again, verse 14, it says he was made to reprove our thoughts. Yeah, the prophets are made to come out here and rebuke against this man and his kingdom, man. You know, telling the downfall of this place, telling the judgment of these people and these different nations, right? So we are burdened to Esau, Edom, man. Right, let's continue. Verse 15, he is grievous unto us, even to behold. For his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. Yeah, because we are not like the 2/3. We're not living like the 2/3. We're not trying to get down like the 2/3, man. You know, the 2/3 finna get destroyed, man. You know what I'm saying? They gonna have to receive it through death by pain. You know what I'm saying? We already in Jacob's trouble. We finna, it's finna ramp up soon, man. You know, like I said, they got these martial law troops on trying to put these martial law troops in all these different cities. You know what I'm saying? Trying to take out the YNs, the young niggas, man. They have no idea what's finna happen, man. It's deeper than, you know, what a lot of people think. It's gonna be the worst time ever, man. You know, troops kicking in your doors, tying you up, taking your daughter, taking your kids, rape, robbing, and murder is gonna be on everything you kind of like to see in the movies is gonna be in real life. Waking up one day, dead bodies in your front yard and shit, man. You know, it's gonna get bad, man. It's gonna be more imaginable, and it's gonna be more worse than we can even imagine, right? So again, verse 15, he is grievous unto us, even to behold. For his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. Let's look up that word grievous, man. You look up that word grievous. It says something, what is it? It's these grievous. It says, man, is this the one I seen earlier? Oh yeah, grievous. So severe, bad, critical, dreadful, terrible. See, it's this word, when we preach this word, it was dreadful unto them, right? Hurtful, agonizing, wounding. We're wounding them. It's cutting like a sharp, you know, that sharp sword, man. You know what I'm saying? This word is like a two-edged sword, if I said that right. His have made my mouth like a sharp sword. See, and that's what it says. It says afflicting, wounding. You know, what does a sword do? It wounds you, man, when you stab somebody with it. And that's what this word, like I said, truth hurts, man. You know what I'm saying? When you come into the truth, you put away all that bullshit. You start preaching the words the way it's supposed to be preaching, for like YAHAWASHI, right? Wounding, damaging, sharp. Again, see, sharp sword. Acute, distressing, traumatic, sorrowful, mournful, gross, dire, shameful. You know, the opposite of good, man. You know, so we are, it is a dreadful sound to these other nations is. We are grievous unto them, man, because we're not like them. We're not doing the things they do. We won't follow everybody else. We won't follow the crowd and do what the 2/3 do, man. Right? So again, you know, it's a dreadful sound when we come out here and preach this word and preach the downfall of this place. Nobody wants to believe America is going to get destroyed, man. You know what I'm saying? But America's going to go bye-bye, man. America's going to be a complete fucking desert. And it's never going to be risen up again. All the infrastructure that you see around here, the laws, you know, all this bullshit that Esau got set up, man, this shit will never rise up again. It's going to be nothing but a wasteland. Kind of like y'all just seen the book of Eli. You know, if you look where Eli was walking, it was all desert, man. It was a wasteland. It's going to be worse than that and completely gone, man. Everything that you seen back in the day that had something to do with Esau, everything that you see now that has something to do with Esau will be completely obliterated, if I'm saying that right. Right? So now we in the NLT, NIV, Salakia, Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 9 through 10. Now I got to pull it up. Jeremiah chapter 9, Salakia, Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 9 to 10, it says, Then the About YAHAWASHI reached out his hand and touched my mouth and said to me, Now I have put my words in your mouth. Verse 10, See, today I appoint you over nations and kingdoms to uproot and tear down, to destroy and overthrow, and to build up and to plant, man. And that's why we out here, man, to preach, to bring back the lost sheep, and also to prophesy the downfall of this place, man. We manifesting this shit, man. It's all in the scriptures. This place is finna go bye-bye. The more we talk about it, the more we preach about it, we know this time is coming, man. We close to the end now, right? And that, again, that's, you know, that's why YAHAWASHI is so great. You know, he's allowed us to have this word, to come out here, do this work, and give us the spirit, you know, to come out here and prophesy and get this place and bring this place down, man. Right? Zechariah chapter 10, verse 4, out of the KJV, it says, Out of him came forth the corner, out of him the nail, out of him the battle bow, out of him every oppressor together. Who is that? That's YAHAWASHI, man. He's the most important piece. Right? Everything goes through him, man. The Lord gave him authority over all. You know what I'm saying? It's all about YAHAWASHI. He is that chief cornerstone. He is the most important piece. Right? So let's continue. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 16. It says, Therefore thus saith the About YAHAWASHI, Behold, I lay Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tri-stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste. See? And that's YAHAWASHI. Right? Now he is that foundation. Like I said, there's no other foundation that could be built on, you know, no other foundation can be built on nothing else besides YAHAWASHI, man. If your foundation is built on Jesus Christ, it's gonna fail. If your foundation is gonna be on Yeshua, Yahweh, Jehovah, Virgin Mary, yourself, whatever you believe in, your foundation is gonna crumble, man. No other foundation can be built unless it's built on the stone of YAHAWASHI, man. You know, because when those afflictions come and those time comes, man, you're gonna have to have something to lean on. You're gonna have something to be deep rooted in. And if you're not deep rooted in YAHAWASHI and you on the fence, you know what I'm saying, you don't know which way to go. You don't know if you want to believe some of it or believe a little bit of it, you know, and it can't be like that. You can't be lukewarm. You got to believe all of it or believe nothing at all. You know, even though, like I said, this truth hurts, man. This truth cuts. Even us, we have to look in the mirror sometimes and take a lot of the times to take accountability. That's why we got to do a lot of self-reflecting. Starting with myself first. Every morning I strive to be better. What can I do to be better? How can I be better? Reading more, studying more, praying more, whatever the case may be, fasting more, anything that can help better myself every day, man. We always got to examine ourselves daily. And you learn that by coming into the truth and going through YAHAWASHI. He's the most important piece. I didn't learn none of that trying to, you know, be with Jesus Christ or Allah, none of that, man. You know what I'm saying? You come into the truth of YAHAWASHI, you put all that old bullshit away, you get that spiritual refreshment, you think different, you move different, you strive to be better every day, man. Right? Now, again, back to Psalms 118, 20, 21 through 23. We're going to get it all the way through. And it says, I will praise thee, for thou hast heard me, and art become my salvation. The stone which the builders refused is become the headstone of the corner. This is this is Yahweh's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes, man. And who is that? That's YAHAWASHI, right? YAHAWASHI, they didn't want YAHAWASHI, man. They didn't want to deal with YAHAWASHI. They rebuked him. They crucified him. You know, slandering his name, speaking bad about this, blaspheming his name, man, making lies about him, which is what the people is doing today, man. They don't want YAHAWASHI. They want kings over them. They want Esau to be their king. You know, they want Jesus Christ to be their king. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's been YAHAWASHI from the jump, man. It's all about YAHAWASHI. He is that chief cornerstone. He is the most important piece to build that foundation on. That's the start. He's the beginning and the end, man. Right? You start with YAHAWASHI, you end with YAHAWASHI. Right? Again, it says 118, 21, 23. I will praise thee, for thou hast heard me, and art become my salvation. We only receive salvation through Yahawashi. You know what I'm saying? We can't see salvation through Jesus Christ. We see salvation through Yahawashi, man. Yahawashi Hamashiach. And it says, the stone which the builders refuse to become is the head stone. Like I said, it's always been him, man. That Jesus Christ spirit, that Allah spirit, that all these different spirits that people, you know, want to bring up and build on, that's not going to help you in the time of trouble, man. When that affliction coming, that salvation, and those winds come, it's not going to help you in the time of trouble, man. You got to be rooted and embedded in Yahweh Yahawashi. When these trials and tribulations come against us, what did it say? The knowledge of wisdom should be the stability of our times. That's these scriptures. That's Yahawashi, man. You know, having faith in Yahawashi. He is that strong tower. You know, we gonna have his protection. You know, Lord, when I'm part of that number. All right, so now we go on to 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 4, and it says, to whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of man, but chosen of Yahweh and precious. See, disallowed indeed of man. See, man disowned Yahawashi. Like I said, they crucified him. Still to this day, crucified. We tell people about Yahawashi now. You know, people still don't want to believe it. They don't believe Yahweh, Yahshua. Nah, man, it's Yahawashi, man. Verse 5, it says, ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house, a holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable by Yahawashi Hamashiach. You see, we building on that stone of Yahawashi, that chief cornerstone, man. You know what I'm saying? It says, again, verse 5, it says, ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house. See, and the third temple is not a physical temple, it's the house of David, man. You know, each one of us of the elect is part of that stone. We all doing our part of that body, man. Every person that's doing this work is a part of that body, which is Yahawashi, man, the house of David. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it said, yeah, also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifice. We're making our body a living sacrifice constantly by preaching this word and preaching about Yahawashi, and going against this agenda, man. Right? Acceptable by Yahweh, acceptable to Yahweh by Yahawashi Hamashiach. So again, like I said, we building on that stone of Yahawashi. We're not building on no other stone but of Yahawashi, man. No foundation can be laid unless it's of Yahawashi. Period. Your foundation built on anything else of Yahawashi is going to fail you in a time of trouble. When your affliction comes, when your time of trouble comes, when you're going through your pains and sorrow, your trials and tribulations, the only way to turn back is through Yahawashi, trusting Yahawashi. When you're going through those times, seek him 10 times more, man. Pray more, fast more, right? Do more work. If you feel depressed and you feel low, get into it more with Yahawashi, man. Because if you feel depressed and you feel low, and you're going to turn to drugs, you're going to turn into, you know, alcoholism, smoking weed, turn to Jesus Christ, or turn to these churches or these pastors, that's going to fail you, man. Right? But when you turn to Yahawashi, you stick to this word, and you do the work and take it cheerfully, hey, you'll come up out of that, man. You just got to be rooted in the bed of the Yahawashi. You can't be moved. It's a reward at the end. And that reward is that salvation, that rulership, man. That everlasting salvation, that immortality, man. You know? 1 Peter verse 2 and 6, it says, wherefore also it is contained in the scripture, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believeth on him should not be confounded. See, we won't be confounded believing on Yahawashi, man, because he is the way. You know, we can't even get to Yahweh unless we go through Yahawashi, man. You know, he is that mediator. You know, like Yahawashi is like our lawyer. He speaks on our behalf, man. You know, it's all about Yahawashi. Everything goes through him. It all goes through him. That's why he has to come. When he come back, he's coming back to make his name ring on earth and tear down these nations. He don't have the only respect that he's getting down here is through his elect, man. The rest of this world, the 2/3 and everybody else, they don't have. You know what I'm saying? They chose not to build on that stone Yahawashi. They chose to build on everything else but Yahawashi. They chose all these different stones because it looked pretty. You know, kind of like these other teachers, they sound good, they look up the part, they sound good, but in our reality, their heart is far from Yahawashi, right? They trying to chase the next bag, you know, they're trying to get that status, and that's the game. When we come off those chains, we break those bands off our neck. You know, like I said, we not trying to, you know, be a person in this society, right? We put all that off once we came to Yahawashi, man. Once we came to Yahawashi, and we, like I said, we was already chosen from the beginning. But once we turned to Yahawashi and we started doing the work and got a better understanding, man, like I said, it's always been him, man. We're not trying to chase the next bag. We're not trying to chase that status. We're not trying to be the best teacher or the best this, the best that. We're trying to, you know, build on that, you know, that stone, man, which is Yahawashi, We trying to receive that salvation. No, you cannot receive no salvation through no Jesus Christ, no Allah, no Yahweh, no Yeshua, nothing, man. It's all about Yahawashah, right? Now we're gonna go, which I got it right here already. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 10 through 11 out of NIV. Yep. And it says, what, 10, 11? Yep. And it says, where am I at? Oh, right here. And it says, by the grace Yahweh has given me, I laid a foundation as an expert builder, and someone else is building on it. See, we became great expert builders through Yahweh, through these scriptures, man. You know, he made us great because, you know, he allowed us to have the Holy Spirit, which is to break down these scriptures and to understand his word, to bring it out and prophesy to our people and to the nations, man. You know? Let's continue. Verse 11. Now verse 11, and it says, but each one should be careful on how, is that 11? Verse 10, by the grace Yahweh has given me, I laid a foundation as an expert builder, and someone else is building on it. But each one should be careful how he builds. Verse 11, for no one can lay any foundation other than the one already laid, which is Yahawashah HaMashiach. You see that? So, you know, we can't build on no other foundation, man. You know, we can't build on no other foundation but Yahawashah. You know what I'm saying? We won't be confounded if we believe and have that faith in Yahawashah. Once we choose Yahawashah, it's not choose Yahawashah. Once we come into Yahawashah, there's no other way. It's no turning back, man. You turn back, there's no other righteous way. Right? It's all about Yahawashah, man. So again, verse 11, it says, for no one can lay any foundation other than the one that has already have, which is Yahawashah HaMashiach. Right, so we see through this grace bridge, we have this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and like we're experts now, like I said, at breaking down these scriptures, man. You know what I'm saying? That's through the Holy Spirit. Like I said, you can't build on no other foundation unless it's built on Yahawashah, man. Like I said, we won't be confounded if we trust and build on Yahawashah, that strong tower, man. Now let's go to Luke chapter 6, verse 46, and it says, it's 46 through 48. And it says, and why call ye me, Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Whosoever cometh to me and heareth my sayings and doeth them, I will show you to whom he is like. Verse 48, he is like a man which built an house and dig deep and laid the foundation on a rock. And when a flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon the house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. See, we get that obedience through faith, and that's rootedness in Yahawashah, man. You know, we trust in Yahawashah, we follow his words, living as right as possible, the commandments the best with our abilities. You know, we can't be moved. We stay deep rooted in Yahawashah. Again, it says, verse 46, and why ye call me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? So how you going to call on Yahawashah and not, you know, do his work and not do what he wants us to do, man, and what we supposed to be doing? Verse 47, whosoever cometh to me, which is Yahawashah, and hear my sayings and doeth them, I will show you to whom he is like. Because each day we trying to be more like Yahawashah each day, man. Verse 48, he is like a man which built an house and dig deep and laid the foundation on a rock. Who is that rock? That's Yahawashah. And when a flood arose and the stream beat vehemently upon that house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. Now we at verse 49. It says, but he that heareth it and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built on a house upon earth, against that which the stream did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of the house was great. Right? See, that's why you want to be anchored down through Yahawashah, man, because like I said, no other foundation can be laid unless it's through Yahawashah. You know, it starts with him and ends with him, man. You know, it's no other foundation. You're trying to build your foundation on you know, like I said, Yahweh, Yeshua. You're trying to build your foundation on yourself, believing in yourself, and all these different drugs and stuff that, you know, Esau got set up, that you know, you take these things and you become addicted to it. Then you have a slave to it, right? That stuff is not gonna help you in the time of trouble, man. You know, if you don't have Yahawashah, when these afflictions come and the floods come, you know, the enemy should come in like a flood, and all these different things that's supposed to come, you know, that's going to come, Jacob's trouble. And goddamn it, if you don't have Yahawashah, your foundation ain't built in Yahawashah, man, it's not gonna hold up. You're gonna fail, man. You're gonna end up taking that chill. You're gonna end up getting your ass destroyed, thrown in the lake of fire, and get hit with them nukes, all of that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all about Yahawashah. That's why we be obedient. You know what I'm saying? Become obedient through faith. That's why, you know, that's how we be built on Yahawashah, man. You gotta have order. You gotta be obedient, man. You gotta be anchored down through YAHAWASHI. We gotta be deep rooted. That's why I said at the top it says, he is like a man which built a house and dig deep and laid the foundation on that rock. So we gotta be deep rooted in YAHAWASHI. We gotta dig deep and fight no matter what trials and tribulations we go through. You never stop this, man. No matter if people, want to say stuff, here and there. No matter if people, no matter what the situation you go through, you lose your family, lose your job, whatever situation you go through, whatever everybody trials and tribulations is different. Whatever you're going through, man, you still got to be rooted and anchored down in YAHAWASHI. No other foundation can be laid unless it's through YAHAWASHI. Right? Last one, Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 7 through 8. NLT, and it says, "But blessed are those who trust in Yahweh, the About YAHAWASHI, and have made Yahweh their hope and confidence. They are like trees planted along the riverbank with roots that reach deep into the water. Such trees are not bothered by the heat or worried by long months of drought. The leaves stay green and they never stop producing fruit." But see, that's us, man. We are deep rooted in YAHAWASHI. We are those trees, man. No matter what hits us, no matter what affliction we go through, no matter what we lose in this world, we know we're gonna get it all back. Whether it's people, things, whatever, we gonna get it all back, man. So it's no point of trying to be in love with this world and trying to cling to this world, man. That's why YAHAWASHI, sacrificed itself for us, man, so we can have a grace period and do it right this time, man. We don't want to fall out this truth on some dumb shit, man, and we don't want to start building and then all of a sudden you fall out the truth because you want to go back into this world and you have disagreements, so you get rebuked and all these different things, man. Hey, hell no, man. You get rebuked, you keep pushing, man. You take that shit on the chin, man, and keep pushing. You correct yourself and keep pushing, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do it. You look in the mirror. Sometimes the problem is the person that you see in the mirror, man. You got to take that accountability. You got to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and, hey, sometimes a lot of times you be your own problem. The only person that's stopping you sometimes is you, man. You're overthinking, just a lot of different things, man. That's why it's important to stay rooted in YAHAWASHI, because this is spiritual warfare. We getting attacked from each side every day by demons, man. Demon might jump on your family, somebody at work, car demon, work demon, whatever the case may be, man. You still got to keep pushing regardless of the fact, no matter what it is, man. You got to be deep rooted. You got to stay on that stone. You got to build on that stone, which is YAHAWASHI. He is that chief cornerstone. He is the most important piece, man. Right? So that was the last precept. And that pretty much was it, man. That was the last precept. It's all about YAHAWASHI. He is that stone which builders refuse, but he became that head corner. He became that headstone of the corner, man. And that's YAHAWASHI, right? No foundation can be laid unless it's through him. Like I said, it's always been him. Even when we thought it was Jesus Christ, it's always been YAHAWASHI, right? So I truly hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give our praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Again, our praise, double honor to the elders, apostles, great millstone. Again, I hope this lesson was edifying. Shalom.